Welcome to the ATP Project. You're with your host, Steve and Jeff. G'day, Steve-O.
How are you?
Steve-O.
Yes.
Now, what's interesting about Steve-O is, do you get called Steve-O in any other part of the world?
No.
No.
It's always Stephen or Stefan.
You never get called Stefan unless you... what's your name? Stefan.
Stefan.
My sister used to do that. You know those people that you meet and they're just so, how would you say, thespians. Like they're very, and her name's Andrea, but when she introduced herself, she'd go, and what's your name? My name's Andrea.
Oh, Andrea.
Oh my gosh. Anyway,
that's
love
funny.
my sister. Beautiful.
Yeah, she's great.
She's funny. She was funny. She was very funny like that. All right.
Yes.
So today's episode is going to be talking about alcohol. Now we're coming into Christmas time.
We are.
And look, there are several people that listen to this podcast. There are the health conscious immortals, I like to call them. They literally, their feet don't touch the ground when they walk. These people are eating organic, they're eating fresh, they're eating local, they get rainwater, they literally, they've put osmosis systems onto their piping so they don't even shower with aluminium and, all the rest of it. I mean, like they probably have solar off the grid, away from 5G. I mean, like
don't have a phone.
No. And then you got the other end of the scale, which are people who want to live better lives, but who live in the real world. They might occasionally grab some drive-through takeaway. They, but they don't take that as a staple. And if they do, they probably feel a little off about it. Come Melbourne Cup that we just had, or come Christmas time, mate, they're going to have some drinks with friends. And I tell you what, if that's you, you shouldn't feel guilty about it. You should be aware that there's always damage to be done. But Steve-O, living in the real world and coming into Christmas time.
I know.
How do we mitigate or reduce damage? And I mean, let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly about alcohol consumption. Because as I said, there's a lot of people out there who are pristine. And if that's you, then you probably might want to listen to this for your friends and the significant others out there that, so that you can help them to reduce the damage of poor choices.
Yeah, exactly.
But as I said, Steve, we're living in the real world.
We are.
We're a real world girl with material needs, and we just want to provide solutions for people that maybe are not as pure as others.
We are. Well, we're all pure here, but we are going to be talking about alcohol consumption, and we have to get a few guidelines. So I've got a few numbers, like when we say drink in moderation, what does that mean?
Sure.
And
what I want to know, Steve, and I'm going to give you a few preferences here, and we can go for it. What is the best type of alcohol to drink? So we're talking about whiskey, we're looking at vodka, we're looking at red wine, white wine, we're looking at, and again, we've already got a predisposition in terms of if we're going to have, vodka, Red Bull, and I'm going to mention brand names here. Am I going to have a Diet Coke with my whiskey, whatever that may be, and we've got to look at that. But typically people are looking at it from calories. They're looking at hormonal impact. They're looking at in terms of what they're eating at the same time, beer and pretzels, for example, or chips. So if you're going to go out and you're going to have a good time and you want to mitigate some of the issues, what should you and should you not drink? What should you and should you not eat? Is there any tips and tricks in terms of drinking water in between? I mean, like, what can you do to have a good time, but not to, or to mitigate as much damage as possible? Okay,
let's say we're over the conversation with don't drink too much, because you're going to.
Well,
we're going to assume that?
Yeah. And then, as I said, we're on a scale here. There's people that are 10s that will never drink, and there's people that are 9 that might have a drink, and it might be red wine with no preservatives in it, and literally it's in a standard glass, and that's all they have. And then there's probably people that are 1s that are looking for any opportunity to have a piss up.
Yeah, well, there's another
Australian word. Go down the bottle-o. Yeah, grab a tinny. Right. So it's funny how a lot of Australian stuff's around drinking, but they really, but they want to go, you know what? What's my better option? What's my better?
Let's start before you start drinking. So let's say you're going out for the night. Have a very healthy meal before you go out.
What's a healthy meal, Steve? What should you be eating?
Something full of antioxidants, and there's a reason why I'm saying that. And anti-inflammatory food. So all your rich vegetables are very good. And something protein with fat in it.
Could you, if you're like an average drongo.
Yes, drongo.
Right? An average bloke or Sheila. Actually, we never say that anymore. But would you recommend maybe a smoothie with some protein, maybe some healthy fats, blueberries, strawberries, that way, you're sort of, you're going to be full of antioxidants and protein and maybe some good fats.
That would be perfect also because it would give you a lot of liquid. A lot of people drink because they're thirsty and drink alcohol. So if you're having something liquid before you go out, that's also very good.
Right.
So before you go out, have something extremely healthy and make sure you're very hydrated. And also have a
so would you recommend electrolytes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Magnesium particularly.
Magnesium. Okay.
And zinc. They're very good for drinking, but also B vitamins.
Right.
Yeah. And particularly if you want one B vitamin, vitamin B3.
Okay. And why is that, Steve?
Because when you metabolize alcohol, and we'll put a graph up here on the screen for those you've got to watch, and basically here is that when you catalyze alcohol to acetaldehyde, it requires B2 and vitamin B3 because that pushes it down a pathway called an oxidative pathway down to acidic acid. Have you heard of that?
Acidic acid, yeah.
It's vinegar.
I've heard of vinegar.
It's the active form of vinegar. 4% acetic acid is vinegar.
Right.
And vinegar is healthy for you.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the more you drink, the more...
No.
Yeah, you can see what some people are thinking now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean... And I'm going to get on the benefits of drinking later.
Oh.
I'm going to contradict myself.
Well, that's going to be interesting.
But as
so
you can see,
stay tuned for that at the end.
Yeah, so I'll show you this here. You see this little highlighted bit there that I've highlighted called excessive alcohol.
Yep.
So let's say you're drinking a little bit in moderation. It's going to go through to a beneficing acetate, which is also a short-chain fatty acid from
which
the
is
gut.
good for you.
Good for you. But excessive alcohol, if it can't be metabolized that way, turns on this nasty stuff here.
Yeah.
And you see this big star saying ROS.
Yep.
That's reactive oxygen species.
Right.
Free radical damage.
Right. So obviously when we're talking about excessive drinking as well too, short duration as well too could also, I mean, if you stretch it out a little bit, if you're going out for a night and you want to sort of stretch it out a little bit, it's probably better than just like whamming like 4 or 5 back to get back, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Because your body's got the ability to process it, do they coagulate and what do they bind all the bad stuff? And then
it doesn't bind; it just detoxifies it. The liver goes through this pathway.
What is it? Through the liver?
Yep.
What is it again?
Oh, the enzyme CYP2E1.
Yeah.
So the good news. No, there's CYP enzymes. There's about 20 of them.
Right.
The most common one that we know in medicine is 3A4.
Right.
Because that's the one that detoxifies most drugs.
I mean, in terms of the phases, right?
Yeah.
It's
phase one.
Phase one.
Yeah.
Right. And you want to speed up phase one?
No, you want to
slow down phase one.
Pretty much slow down.
Right. And speed up phase 2.
Yes.
Right.
Because phase 2 is like sticking protein to it.
Yep.
And detoxifying it out of the body.
So the proteins that you'd want in your body without getting too far out there, methionine that you want?
Methionine is very, very good. Any of the sulfur-based amino acids because they protect the liver.
Yep.
So taurine, that's why I said have an animal protein meal.
Red Bull's coming to the...
Oh, they do have a 2 grams.
And the reason why Red Bull puts taurine in there is not because it's healthy for you, it's because it stops the palpitations of the heart, right? Because the most abundant amino acid in the heart is taurine. So people go, it's a health drink, it's got taurine in it. Not quite. Yes. But anyway, that could be a sort of a pro.
So a nice fatty animal rich meal, so like, meat and vegetables.
Doesn't work if you're a vegetarian, but yes.
No. Then you have some problems because taurine is mainly found in animal proteins, but adults can make taurine. Infants can't.
Right.
And
really?
Problems years ago when they brought out soy formula and they didn't add taurine, they do now. Then they can't make the taurine, so they become very sick.
Why can we make it when we get older?
Oh, the body's still growing. The brain still grows up until 25. Yeah. So the body's still, all right, you're born, but it doesn't mean that's the end of your growth phase. Good, everything's hunky-dory. And it's like, a lot of animals can't make taurine, like my cat.
Is it true? Is it true we're talking about this, that your ears and your nose continue to grow pretty much until you die?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's rubbish, isn't it?
Yeah, amazing.
Why can't it be other parts of your body that grow until you die?
I wish there would. Yeah. Anyway, what you mean?
Not that I've got. No, I don't have any problems there. I don't know.
No. They're just growing
too much
enough.
of a good thing, I think.
Exactly.
Steve.
Yeah.
Shameless promotion here, but guess what?
It's a good promotion.
Do you know what this month is?
What month is it?
This is our 10th Birthday month.
Birthday?
And I'll let you in a little secret.
Where's the birthday cake?
It was actually, wow. Now. We have a birthday cake bar.
Really?
We do. And to be honest, it is to date my favorite bar.
Yeah, it is.
And I know that's my favorite.
Yeah.
This is actually my favorite. It is a birthday cake, and people go, what does it taste like? The best way that I can describe, and again, you have to be judged for yourself, kind of tastes like Neapolitan ice cream.
Yeah, the mixture of the three.
Yeah.
I don't know what the science behind it is, but there's probably a mixture of flavors because it does taste like a cake with hundreds of thousands on it.
Chocolate, vanilla, and then a strawberry note at the end with a really creamy aftertaste. It's beautiful.
Weird.
It's really different.
It's great.
We've also got a pineapple bar, and people love that if you're into your fruit, and that's great. But honestly, our birthday cake, we've got a limited run. It's a limited time only to celebrate our 10th birthday. It's available for only a limited time. There's only a limited amount to celebrate our 10th birthday. So, give it a try. Let us know what you think.
Yum.
But what I was going to say, though, as far as getting back to alcohol consumption and drinking it, so pace yourself.
Yep.
Have some antioxidants before. Have some protein before. Some electrolytes
vitamins
as well too.
Yeah, B vitamins.
Yep.
Now, the electrolytes are important because when you drink alcohol dehydrates you.
Yeah.
It suppresses ADH. Everyone know what that is? Probably not. Antidiuretic hormone. Now, antidiuretic hormone is an antidiuretic hormone. It stops you peeing. I know, weird, right? But if you drink alcohol, it blocks that, so you pee a lot.
Right.
Has anyone ever known you want to drink a beer and they're off to the toilet 6,000 times?
Mm-hmm. The trick is to hold it as long as possible, because once you break the seal, the floodgates open.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so you're suppressing ADH.
Yeah.
And so you're in effect giving yourself diabetes insipidus.
Wow.
Yeah, which is a condition where you've got chronic ADH deficiency.
Right.
And that's what it's not a sugar diabetes, it's a diabetes insipidus. So for the night, you've got diabetes insipidus typically. So you're going to be peeing a lot and you're going to be dehydrating yourself, because you normally when you drink, people say, oh, why am I still thirsty after drinking all this beer? It's because you just can't hold on to it because your ADH is suppressed. So electrolytes.
But how long will the electrolytes hold on to? I mean, like if you're drinking a lot, you flush them out pretty quick, right?
So I'm only trying to mitigate.
Right.
You know.
So should you, I mean, the purist here, should you know how they used to say for every beer or every glass of wine or every drink, you should have a glass of water.
Oh, of course you should.
Should you have a high antioxidant electrolyte formula in your back pocket?
Exactly. I mean,
if you were going to be a purist.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which, I mean, if people at home, they might grab some high quality electrolyte, not the rubbish that you find down at the, well, I guess if you have to. I mean, sugars as well too would probably help a little bit, Steve, as well too, would it, or not?
Not really, because sugars also cause some of the dangers like free radicals, and another problem here, inflammation and lipid accumulation.
Oh.
So when you have alcohol, the problem is that your body makes a lot of liver lipids. And in fact, if you drink too much, you can get a cirrhosis of the liver.
Yeah, I've heard of that, yeah.
And fatty liver disease.
Right.
Because there's just too much fat accumulation. Now, that's why when we crap on about bodybuilding, you've got to really go off alcohol.
Yeah.
Because alcohol stimulates fat production.
Yep.
So let's say you have it with sugars.
Yes.
And sugars have to be detoxified into fat.
Yeah, right. So even worse.
Yeah.
You're getting like a double whammy.
Yeah. So
So this is where you hear people go, oh, well, then I'm going to have Diet Coke. Or I'm going to have, it's like, and again, we don't like it because obviously, but Steve, you can understand the methodology, right?
Oh, I do, yeah. There's a few other mitigating ways to get around it too. Like, let's say you're going to drink, and look, alcohol is alcohol. It's ethanol, C2H5OH. It's a chemical that comes in all this. It's the same chemical in all your drinks, right?
Yep.
It's what goes with it. So, for example, if you're drinking, and I'll use the classic example of red wine.
Yes.
Dry red wine.
Yep.
That is the best,
100%
form of alcohol.
All right. So let's get into best to worst. You ready?
All right.
Okay. Red wine has to be, especially if it's preservative free.
Yep.
There is how much sugar, Steve, in red wine?
2 grams per glass.
That's
that's the
awesome.
most.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the ones that I've been having a look at, donuts.
Oh, yeah, you can buy the zero one.
Yep.
Yeah.
But effectively nothing.
Exactly. So that you want zero carbohydrates when
and
you
red
drink
wine
alcohol.
is better than white wine for you wine drinkers out there, because
of
white wine's got polyphenols, and also white wine is higher in sugar.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
So red wine is the gold standard
Dry
as
red
far
wine.
as alcohol is concerned.
Very much
dry
so.
red wine. You've got virtually no sugars, and you're right, resveratrol.
Yep.
And polyphenols.
Yep.
And if you're getting real old style grapes, you're probably getting some of the proanthocyanidins out of the grape seed in there, which is amazing
That's
stuff.
what gives it the colour. Oligoproanthocyanidins,
which is excellent.
Yeah, because cyan is a colour, a red colour, and that's what you get in the red wine.
Incredibly powerful antioxidant.
Really good
so
for you.
You're mitigating some. I mean, okay, bad. You're still getting alcohol. You're still having to process that through the liver.
Yes.
But yeah, overall, red wine is probably the number one.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Now, you don't want to have excessive amounts, but let's say you're going to. All right.
People are going to drink a lot.
They're going to drink a lot.
Yeah.
All right. So if you have a red wine, like 1 or 2 glasses over the night, it's actually,
Steve, you amateur. Come on.
My mother and sister drink like that. You know, they just have a wine.
Yeah, but that's Monday to Friday.
Yeah, I know,
wait until Saturday night comes, mate. It's 1 to 2 bottles.
So all right.
It's probably 2 to 3 bottles.
So we're going to excess.
Yeah, we're going to excess.
All right. Okay. All right. So all right. So I've at least I've said you shouldn't, but let's say you're going to.
Let's go in excess.
Okay. Nice. Another Aussie.
Yeah.
Love it.
Okay. So excess.
So the problem with excessive alcohol in any form is that it increases inflammation, fibrosis, and fatty acid production.
Fibrosis.
Yeah, fibrosis damages the liver.
Oh.
Yeah, so if you drink a lot, you will get mild cirrhosis of the liver after drinking, and then the liver can repair itself.
Okay.
Unless you're a chronic alcoholic and drinking loads every week, and you could end up...
Because the liver's a very hardy organ, isn't it?
It's very, like if somebody died, they could get they need a liver transplant from somebody who's died. You could harvest that liver and give 3 livers because it grows.
Wow.
Yeah. So you get 3 livers out of a liver.
Wow.
Yeah, transplant. Kidney, it's 1 per 1.
Yep.
You know,
$125,000 per kidney, Steve.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I've got a spare here.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the market to go up a little bit more. Yeah.
There probably is a black market for all this.
Are you serious, Steve?
There would be.
There's a very large black market for that. But let's not talk about that.
Because we've got 1 liver and we've got 2 kidneys, so we can easily live without 1 kidney.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I don't want
Well, if you don't mind, if you can easily do it, Steve-o.
Yeah.
I've got a buyer.
It's got to be tempting for some people, doesn't it? To make that money.
To harvest your kidney. Yeah, I would be.
If someone's desperate.
Matt will split the profits.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I got 2.
I'll give you a commission, Steve.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty common blood A type too, so there's lots of that's not for another podcast, but
yeah, we have to do that one.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So anyway, back on track. So red wine, alcohol. Yeah.
Okay. So let's go to the other extreme.
Yeah. Well, hang on. What you want to go straight from the best to the worst?
Yeah, I was thinking, then we can scale them, and I'll explain the scale.
All right, what is the worst?
The worst is having a clear alcohol like ouzo or vodka.
With sugar.
Yeah, with Coca-Cola or something.
Vodka and Coke.
Yeah.
Or vodka and...
Red Bull. It's probably even worse.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's got taurine.
Yeah, I know it's got taurine. But there's other chemicals
Vodka
in
Red Bull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's other...
You reckon that's the worst?
Well, probably because there are other chemicals in Red Bull that your liver has to process. Now, if you're drinking Red Bull on its own, yeah, you could probably cope with it.
Yeah.
If you're having alcohol on its own, it's sort of both.
So I would have thought that, and again, just coming back to the spirit here, and I would have put spirits probably on the worst end.
Yeah.
But you're saying that vodka, Bacardi, that kind of white
because they do not have any antioxidant or nutritional value.
Really?
Yeah.
It's funny because we're watching the TV the other day and it came up with this ad for Woodford Reserve, which is a bourbon, American style bourbon, and it's got like, orange, and it's got like strawberries, and it's got raspberries. And the kids are going, "Oh wow, that looks amazing!" And I'm like, "You know what it tastes like, guys?" And they're like, "No, Dad, what does it taste like?" I said, "Horrible." I said, "If you would taste it, you would absolutely hate it." I said, "That is marketing," and it's true. They might be infused with all that sort of stuff, but that's not how it tastes.
No, it doesn't taste like orange, isn't it? But alcohol itself has got a very bittery sort of yucky taste that we all know what it tastes like.
And kids typically don't go for that.
Yeah, so we smother it with sugar. So when you make a food base, you've got to think of all the different tastes: the salt, the sweet, the tasty, and there's things that antagonise each other, like bittersweet. So in this case, if you've got a bitter alcohol that if you drink pure ethanol, which I have done, I have to admit,
really
98%.
Why did you do that?
Because I was in a lab and I was 18 years old.
Oh my
I just
gosh,
wanted
Steve.
to try it.
I'm amazed you can still see.
Oh,
because people go blind doing that.
Oh, they go,
and they call blind drunk.
Yeah, well, that's from drinking another type of alcohol called methanol. Okay.
Metho.
Yeah, metho damages the eyes.
They make it blue now.
They make. Oh yeah, of course they do. Yeah, I've seen that
on the terps.
Yeah,
you get on the terps, Steve?
Yeah. But do you know what the antidote to excessive methanol consumption is.
What is it's something
Something topic of the podcast. Alcohol.
really?
Yeah, they give ethanol, which displaces the methanol. Methanol is the 1 carbon, ethanol is 2 carbons.
No, I wouldn't have got that.
Yeah, so they give them ethanol because it's relatively safe. It doesn't cause blindness, so it displaces the methanol.
Wow.
Yeah. So there you go. Alcohols can be good in some instances if you drink a lot of metho.
Yeah.
Which is not advisable to anybody anytime ever.
No, we do not
drink.
recommend to drink methylated spirits.
No, like the only stupid idiot why I drank pure ethanol was because we got it in the lab and I wanted to try it.
What happened?
Tasted awful. I mean, I didn't drink like a bucket of it. I just had a sip of it.
Yeah.
And it tastes like, very, very strong vodka. Well, it's 98% ethanol.
Oh my gosh, Steve.
I know. I just wanted to try it. Look, when I was 18, I made trinitrotoluene in the lab.
What's that? TNT.
TNT. You've heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've heard it. Does everyone know what TNT is?
From the famous band Akadaka. See, there's another one for you.
Akadaka, not AC/DC.
Yeah.
Akadaka. I saw the guitarist out of Akadaka, and he had a picture of Tesla and Edison on his shirt with a slash between it. Because, we know that Edison...
DC, my gosh, that's so good.
They were scientists...
Explain the joke.
Oh, okay. They're both famous inventors and scientists that one was for DC power and one was for AC power.
Yep.
So, he had it on there. That was
that's
Brian
pretty smart.
Johnson. The guitarist. So,
yeah.
Oh, no, it was, Brian Johnson, the singer.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun.
Classic,
That's funny.
Yeah, and Angus Young had one too, similar.
That's funny because
very funny.
Yeah,
very funny.
I was hanging out with Bon Scott one time.
Bon Scott.
No.
Did you know that Bon Scott died of
asphyxiation?
Yeah, due to alcohol.
Yeah, he did. Choked on his own vomit. It's amazing how many sort of back then died that way.
Oh yeah,
kind of
one
crazy.
of my favourite guitarists died back then too. What's his name? Oh, I think of his name, but he was in all sorts of bands.
Did you know that Mama Cass did not die by choking on a ham sandwich? You know that's
how did she die?
I don't know. I just remember I was just watching this thing going myths, and it was like, Anyway, useless information. So get back on alcohol.
Alcohol, sure.
So worst alcohol is clear alcohol with a sugary substance.
Yeah. Now there's a big caveat to this because some people go, "Oh no, I can't drink red wine; it gives me headaches."
Right.
Or I can't drink.
Is that
vodka.
because of the something hide? The formaldehyde?
It shouldn't be any formaldehyde.
No. But burnt plastic creates formaldehyde, right? Yeah. I remember one time we had the infrared, remember? And I told you we had it made over in the good old US of A, and they burnt the top of it. Yeah. And I tried some and drank it, and I never, ever get headaches, and I immediately got a headache. But you mentioned another type of hide. Is that what's creating the headache?
Oh, acetaldehyde? Yeah.
Yes.
Acetaldehyde does cause headaches. Yeah. But it's also due to the free radical damage when you mix with excessive acetaldehyde.
So why is it that, and I used to drink a lot when I was younger, like really stupid amounts of alcohol. And I never used to get headaches. Used to feel hungover, seedy, and obviously as my body's processing. But why is that? Why is it some people get headaches and some people don't?
It's to do with the liver enzymes.
Right.
And you
so in other words, I've got a liver built to be an alcoholic.
Well,
alcoholics run in my family. Not very far, they trip over and they hurt themselves. But we do. I've got a lot of alcoholics. I reckon seriously, in terms of the pathways that you go.
Yeah.
If I decided to go to the dark side, which I remember when I was younger, I was dumb. Like you said about drinking straight alcohol.
I was dumb.
It was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So Wednesday night was ladies' night, and Thursday nights was students' night, and Friday was just great for the weekend and stuff. I used to live on 2-minute noodles and save all my money to buy $1 drinks at Mary Street nightclub.
Mary Street nightclub.
It's terrible. For people in Brisbane, you understand what I'm talking about here. And go to St. Paul's Tavern and used to literally drink buckets of alcohol. Yeah. And I wound up in hospital. Ended up with peritonitis.
That's inflammation of the peritoneum.
And nearly died.
I
was in hospital for 3 weeks.
Dangerous,
it was just, and that was the epiphany. I went, hang on a minute, I could die here.
Yeah.
So, because I got injured playing football, senior year of high school, loved sport, and then just became just this oaf and just chasing alcohol, and that was all I really cared about. It was pathetic.
I went through it.
But I never got headaches from drinking.
Yeah.
And as I said, I could have very easily have turned to the dark side. Some people kind of are, if you like for a better word, kind of built for drinking, right?
Yeah, well, they're built for drinking, but also they can train their liver to be better at drinking because they upregulate those enzymes.
This is another Australian...
Like doing biceps.
Piss fit.
Oh, yes, that's right. That is an Australian term.
It is, right? Are you piss fit?
Yeah.
So, anyway, yeah.
Now you mentioned headaches, which is very interesting. So I've got a chart here. One of the most there is a type of headache that affects about 0.1% of the population that can be brought on by drinking alcohol, or not.
0.1% of the population.
Yeah, this type of headache called cluster headaches.
Wow.
Now,
doesn't sound fun.
No. Do you want me to tell you how? Like there is a pain scale here. Now I'll mention, because this is straight out of a paper, and it's published in a journal called Headache in 2020. I love the journal. I know, great nighttime reading.
I guess if you get headaches, you probably subscribe to that.
Yeah, well, you would. Oh, actually, 2021. And it says, this is the title of it: cluster headache is one of the most intensely painful human conditions. Results from an international study. Blah blah blah.
And it's brought on by
alcohol. It's one of the
triggers.
One of the triggers.
Wow. And 0.1% of the population, when they drink alcohol.
Yeah, we'll get this.
Wow.
We'll bring it on.
So that would stop you drinking.
Yeah.
I mean, like, imagine if you got kicked in the nuts every time you took a drink. You'd stop drinking pretty quick.
Well, you would, except people don't. I mean, I was talking to, this is off camera, I was talking to Matt before this, and he was talking about a holiday.
Give up the vodka and Red Bull.
No, I wasn't. He was saying that people that he was with on a camping trip, I'll just summarise, drank.
Was it a nudist camp? I don't want to hear about it.
But we got the photos, so you should see the photos.
No, I don't want to see the photos.
It was a little bit cold, so it wasn't.
Yeah. That's what he said.
Yeah. So, sorry, man. But anyway, if you drink this alcohol, you get this excruciating headache in some people, and they're the people that you wake up and you're a bit funny in the head or whatever. That's most people.
Yep.
But people who wake up and they're like and their eye and everything, cluster headache symptoms are horrendous.
That's normally before I go to bed, and that's my
I've actually got a pain scale here of how bad it is compared to other things in life.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to offend some people here, but
great.
Yeah, no. There's pain scales. So I'll start at the bottom.
Because you know why you're going to offend people? You're such a pussycat, and you tiptoe around anything to do with women and pregnancy.
That's exactly what I'm going to talk about.
Mate, I know you. I know you, Steve-O. Yeah. So come on. Give it to them.
All right, here we go. All right. So let's start off with labour pain, okay?
Yeah.
Now
walk in the park, Steve.
Out of 10,
we're getting
labour pain, which is ranked number 2 on the pain scale here, they rank at 7.2 out of 10 as a pain scale, which is extraordinarily high in the standard pain scale.
Okay, well, I can think of some things that could be worse, right?
Yeah,
like
what?
Getting your face ripped off by a crocodile would probably hurt more. But no,
that's not on the list.
No.
Gunshot?
It's funny, hey? Because I've seen some people being shot by guns. Some people are just like, yep, and other people are like a bitch. They reckon it hurts. So,
well, it's ranked as a 6 out of 10. So that's still pretty high.
Yeah. What about what do they call it? Murder hornets, or is it? What about bullet ants? Apparently, they're pretty bad.
Here. Stab wounds on here.
Yeah, what's that? But it depends where you get stabbed. I mean, if you get stabbed in the fleshy part.
Yeah, well, it's a 4.9, so it's up there.
Yeah, so being stabbed is better than being shot.
Yeah,
okay.
But we've got like
That's good to know.
Pancreatitis is like inflamed pancreas from drinking too much.
Yeah,
7. So that's pretty high.
I'll tell you one that I know a woman who had a baby who also got this, and she said that this condition was worse than having the baby.
Whoa, what is it?
Stones, passing
Kidney
stones. Kidney stones.
It's on here as a 6.9.
Oh, well,
so it's right up there with labour pain.
Maybe she had just forgotten.
No, that's
yeah, but maybe she thought it was worse. It was 0.1 below, so I'm going to tell her she's a liar.
That's the 4th most painful condition.
Okay.
So incredibly bad. But number 1...
Well, cluster headaches.
Cluster headaches. But guess what it's ranked? Now, remember, labour is number 2, and it's 7.2. Cluster headaches are ranked as a 9.7 on the pain scale.
Holy snap.
Yeah, have a look at that. Now, we'll put it up on screen for those people who are... But there's the pain scale, so you can see some others there, and you can pick one out.
Wow.
Like arthritis. I had arthritis. That's pretty bad. That's 4.
I'd like to see. My kids were watching this stuff on YouTube about people that get stung by things.
Oh,
have you seen that?
We were talking about
what was it? Was it a centipede or something? That's the most painful bite in the world. And like this guy, he just holds this freaking huge centipede and lets him bite him. And there's a hornet as well too.
Yeah.
I think there's a Japanese murder hornet or something. I don't know. But and there was this ant. I forget which one of them. And we're watching it, and my sons are just getting all squirrely and girly.
Really?
Oh my gosh! And it's just like that looked freaking painful. Oh, there are trees here in Australia. My sons watch the stranger stuff. There are trees here in Australia with these fine, like how tarantulas flick off their hair.
They do.
Well, there are these trees that have got it as well too. and they've got these spines on them, and they reckon that they are so these little things they get into your flesh that the pain is so debilitating that if you don't get it off, you literally can go mad and insane. Like when horses would get it, they'd throw themselves. They say they throw themselves off cliffs to kill themselves because the pain is so bad. So I would like to see. I'd like to see a murder hornet. I'd like to see that. Apparently, isn't Iroquois jellyfish? Isn't there stonefish in there supposed to be really bad? I'm sure that's not complete.
No, it's not complete. It's only from a hospital study, so it's only people who end up in hospital. So you're getting stung by something.
It gets to labour. Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah. So like bone fractures 5.2, but the cluster headache is also its other name in the medical terms is the suicide headache.
Wow.
Because you want to kill yourself.
Yeah.
It's that painful.
Yeah.
So quite incredible, but that's triggered by alcohol. It's this number. Right. And it occurs mainly in men.
Oh,
age between 30 and 50.
Really?
Men are tougher. We can handle this stuff. Oh, she's
nobody can save you, Steve.
It's just women
someone's going to put a murder hornet in his...
Well, women get more migraines.
Yeah,
they suffer migraines.
They also give more migraines.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, hang on, cut that. Cut that.
Hey. So we're in trouble, aren't we? Already?
Here we are.
Well, so anyway, cluster headaches are brought on by alcohol. So for those people who wake up really, 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 not like, oh, my head hurts a bit, I need a Panadol. I mean, they're like, oh, I want to die. That could be a cluster headache.
Go get some pethidine.
Yeah, but guess what the number one treatment for a cluster headache is?
Alcohol.
No.
Hair of the dog.
I should say medical treatment.
Okay.
For people who have got cluster headaches, there's a class A evidence, you're not going to believe this, it's breathing oxygen. That aborts migraines or aborts cluster
pure
headache.
oxygen.
Pure oxygen.
Imagine if you went to the hospital and they went, just breathe.
Yeah. No, pure oxygen at 15 litres per minute, which is a very high dose.
Really?
For 10 minutes should abort a cluster headache.
Why is that? Why?
Because these sort of cluster headaches are caused by massive vasodilation in the head.
Right.
And that triggers off all the nerves and around your eye and everything like that. And it makes you feel like your eye is too big for your head and you get actual sort of pain, temporal pain. It's usually one-sided. Like a normal hangover is just your head hurts, but the one-sided one where people come out and their eyes are all funny and their nose is dribbling, this is a cluster headache, and that's often brought on by alcohol. And people don't know they get these things until they drink.
Wow.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Bad luck. Okay.
Yeah, well,
that would stop you from drinking.
It would, but cluster headaches come in clusters, as the name would suggest. So you can go through periods where you get these, and then all of a sudden you don't get them.
All right, okay.
And so it's like, don't know why, but usually it's to do with seasonal things.
Right.
And it usually occurs at night, cluster headaches. Okay. So when you often drink at night, a lot of people drink at night.
Yeah, I drink just as soon as I get up in the morning.
Yeah.
Just helps me to get through the day.
You know what's in this, don't you? It's not anything that, I can't even say the name of the product because I don't want to get in trouble.
No.
But there you go. So there's a great pain scale, great podcast in itself, pain.
Yeah.
But that cluster headache brought on by alcohol, I just love it. Right, a scale of 9.7.
Well, it's fascinating. Yes. All right, Steve, back to alcohol. All right, so tell me then, have you got a scale here where, the next, we've spoken about wine.
Yeah.
And we've spoken about the clear spirits. Where would beer?
Well, beer.
Excuse my Kiwi accent because I can't say the word properly. Beer.
I can't say your accent. I can say beer.
Beer. How much can a beer drink beer?
Yeah, well, the problem with alcohol in beer is that people drink beer to excess.
Right.
Because the problem with it, and what they found in the studies is that people tend to buy it in I would turn a slab from Victoria I am, but they call them cartons up here.
Yeah, cartons.
24.
Yeah.
And that's a very common way to purchase it.
Yeah.
So it's not like you go to a bar and get a glass of red wine. You buy 24 beers.
Well, you can buy a 6-pack.
Yeah, I know, but
you don't have to buy 24.
But if you're a man, you buy 24, don't you?
I'm not a man, clearly.
Yeah.
But mind you, I'm not a huge beer drinker. But the problem with beer is, it's got hops in there, which is actually pretty good.
And
but it's made with dextrose.
It is. Dextrose is a type of sugar, for those who don't know.
Very high on the GI scale.
Very high.
Now, when it ferments, well, I mean, okay, give me the good, the bad, and the ugly with beer, Steve.
All right. The bad about beer is that you drink to excess, but also, and this is a weird thing in the study, it's socially acceptable to drink beer. If you're having so
it's not socially acceptable to drink red wine.
Yeah, that's fine too. But I'm thinking of the bad, like spirits. People say, "Oh, you're drinking spirits." That's a bit. But people think beer. It's like, oh, yeah, everyone has a beer after work. But if you're drinking spirits after work, there's a social. Yeah,
is there?
Yeah, there's a. I'll call it a stigma. But there's something in it where people have a perception that spirits is a stronger drink.
I guess because beer and wine, especially beer, is pretty casual, isn't it?
It's very casual.
Jage, mate, do you want a beer?
Yeah.
Hey, mate, do you want a whiskey? You don't really say that, do you?
Yeah, it's not
mate,
as...
Pop over for a bit. Let's see. You want a beer, mate?
Yeah.
That's true.
Now, I'm going to give you another Australian word here, but let's say you attend a Barbie. Okay, it's not a Barbie doll.
No.
You go to a Barbie, barbecue, which is where you cook meat.
Yeah, it's true. You don't drink spirits.
Yeah.
You drink beer.
Yep. At what time of day?
Midday.
Would you ever drink? Well, you would. Some people would, but most people don't drink spirits around midday.
I was joking before. No, you kind of wouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're sort of settled in, Christmas, maybe. But it kind of, you're right, it is socially. It's like, mate, you're getting into the hard stuff a bit early.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they would say. Whereas beer...
Oh, you have a beer watching the cricket at lunchtime, whatever. It's a completely normal behaviour for an Australian.
It's true. And you could also put into that cider and ginger beer as well too, like alcoholic ginger beer.
They're all problematic. The other problem with beer is the fact that it's quite inexpensive, like comparative to the spirits.
Yeah.
Now, the thing about that is it's more accessible to more people.
Right. So therefore you drink more.
Yeah.
And more people drink more.
Yep. The other thing is you can get mid-strength beer.
Right.
You can't get mid-strength.
You can get sugar-free beer now.
Yep.
Blondes, I think.
Blonde, pure blonde. Can we say that brand name?
I don't know. Yeah. But we're not having a crack at any.
No. It's a low carb beer. So there's a
crack. We're not having a crack at.
So that's another track. Yeah. So the problem is that you've got this scale where there's all these beers that are from completely acceptable drinking beer, whereas low alcohol or no alcohol or lights is what we call them here. Yeah. And then you've got the mid-strength ones. Which are still considered quite, you're taking it easy, good on you for having mids. Yeah, it's still got 3.5% alcohol. So if you drink a can, which is about 375 mils, what's that in ounces for the American people of 12 ounces?
Yeah.
I think it is. Yeah.
Still quite a lot.
It's still a lot of volume.
Just a point of clarification as well too. Yeah. You say you're going to have a light beer here. What does that mean?
Well, a light beer is 2%.
Do you know what it is in the States?
What is it?
Light colour.
Oh, really?
It's totally different.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I'm going to have a light beer. Oh, that's the colour.
Yeah.
Not the strength of the beer.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. Funny, right?
So there you go.
Yeah.
That's a problem in a way, because you should know what. But let's say I go to America and I'll just have a light beer, thanks. It's like I'll still get 5% alcohol.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Now a standard drink is 14 grams of alcohol.
So coming back to beer.
Yeah.
So sugar content or carbohydrate content in a standard beer is
quite high.
Right.
Yeah, it depends on the beer.
Yeah.
Depends on how much, because you got to remember there's the taste of it. If you don't put sugar in it, it tastes awful.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even 4X bitter.
Yeah.
And Power's bitter.
Yeah.
I don't think they make Powers anymore, but
Victoria Bitter they have. Do you remember those ads?
Yeah.
And again, the ads for beer. A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold beer, and the best cold beer is Vic Bitter.
Yeah, right.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
Yep.
So like it's like
brings me back to my childhood.
Yeah, it does. Same here. But the perception of that is,
I don't think alcohol's allowed to sponsor sport anymore, are they?
Well, this was just an ad on TV.
I remember it used to be, all the Benson and Hedges World Cricket. Do you remember that?
Cup. Yeah, I do.
Brought to you by Cancer Sticks.
Yes, exactly.
They're not allowed to do that anymore.
No. But again, having a beer at the cricket is a very Australian
thing.
thing.
Talk about a lot of this sort of social engineering sort of stuff. I've had mixed feelings about it. I think moderation and control and personal choice should always be something.
Oh, yeah.
However, I do also understand social norms and some of the things that were considered to be normal.
Yeah.
Probably are a little bit kind of dated.
Well, a little bit. And also beer, people build up a tolerance, so they drink a lot of it. Like there's not an uncommon for someone to get drunk on 12 beers. So let's just go back to 10 beers.
I went down to this place one time where this guy was brewing his own triple strength brewed Belgian beer. And I remember he gave me like literally a little taster because I went to him, I said, oh, can I buy some? And I said, mate, and he bottled it up, and it was like something stupid like 12, 15 bucks a bottle, right?
Yeah.
So why is it so expensive? He goes, man, I'm not even making my money back. He said all the ingredients were hand selected and he brewed it, and it was for his girlfriend's 40th. And so he had done this as a treat for her and her friends, right? It was one of the best beers I've ever had.
Really?
But oh my Lord, Steve, it must have been over 10%. It was crazy strong. I remember having a little thing like this and it hit me like an absolute.
Amazing, isn't it? So let's say you're out on the cans, you're having a few tinnies, and you have, say, 10 drinks, 10 cans of beer.
Yep.
Not that to me is not considered.
They 1.2 or 1.5 or 1.8?
Standard drinks?
Yeah.
Yeah, 1.5.
1.5.
Yeah. Because there's 14 grams of alcohol or ethanol is a standard drink. So it's about 1.5. So if you have 10 cans of drink, you know how much you're drinking? 3.75 litres.
That's a lot of water.
Of beer.
Well, a lot of liquid.
Now that's half a litre.
Yeah.
So you're drinking a half a dozen of those.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of liquid.
Yeah.
Think of all the sugar and the ethanol. It's a lot.
Do you know how much sugar is actually in a standard beer? Do you know?
It depends, but it's around 4%.
4%. So if you're drinking...
So it doesn't sound like a lot.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
But you
it's about the same as milk.
Yeah, it is. Milk's about 4.9 lactose. So it's about the same. But let's, depending on the beer, let's say, because there's some sweet beers. But let's say, yeah, there are sweeter ones, the stouts and those sort of things. But so let's say 4 grams of beer. You're having a litre, okay? Remember, you're having 3.75 litres of the night.
So you're getting 4 grams of sugar
times, of course, 10. You get 40. That's for 1 litre times 3. It's 120 grams of sugar.
Hang on.
Just to get your 10 cans of beer.
No, that can't be right.
No, it is. Yeah, I've done the maths. Okay, so let's say you're having 4 grams of sugar.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the standard tin is what?
Per 100 mil.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, per 100
mil. 1,000 mil.
Oh, hang on. Oh, yeah.
You see how it's added up on you?
Yeah.
Now, I've just done it to 3 litres. Now,
do you know what? I went straight away to 1 litre is 4 grams of sugar. I'm thinking that's not too bad.
Yeah, no, that'd be fine.
No, it's 100 mil.
100 mil.
So in
4%.
1 can of beer, typically, what's a can of beer?
375.
So
15 grams of sugar. Times 10.
Holy snap.
Okay. So
what are you getting in a bourbon and Coke?
Well, it depends on what Coke and all that.
So does anybody know how much is in a cola? How much sugar is in a cola?
20%.
Oh, so you're getting 20 grams of sugar per 100.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
All right. So
I never calculated that out.
So beer, if you have 10 beers in the night, and we're talking about excessive drinking, which is that's doable, isn't it? 10 cans of beer.
Yeah.
That's 150 grams of sugar.
Oh my.
Along with the alcohol and all the other stuff in it, but that's a fair bit of sugar.
Wow.
Scary, isn't it?
That is scary.
All right. But now the bourbon and Coke is an interesting one because you would typically, could you have 10 bourbons and Cokes? Yeah, you could, probably same sort of thing. But how much Coke do you put in there?
Well, I don't
per
drink that
bourbon
anymore.
and Coke.
But I don't know, probably maybe 100 tops.
All right. So 100 mil times 10 is a litre, and that's 200 grams of sugar. So people don't think of the sugar content when they go out drinking. Now,
So can I add a whammy?
Oh, you go for it.
All right. So what happens if you're sitting there and you're having your beer? What do you when you're sitting down and you're watching the TV and someone pulls out the...
I'm eating steamed broccoli. No, I know.
Jeez,
I know.
Steve, I'm not coming over to your place to watch the footy, mate.
Exactly.
Holy cow.
You bring out snack foods that are full of sugar and crap.
Typically.
Yep.
Now, if you're a little bit more up class...
Oh, okay.
You might go for maybe your wafers with your camembert and your brie cheese.
Okay.
And but... For most of the guys out there, we're eating chips, Doritos, just full of carbohydrates and fats.
And salt.
Yeah.
And guess what salt does to you?
Makes you thirsty.
And dehydrates you. So you're going to drink more, eat more crap, because you're going to be craving salt.
So your body's producing huge amounts of insulin as well.
Absolutely.
So you're producing huge amounts of insulin, then you're eating these Dorito-y chips and dip and all the rest of it. Man, you're just getting fat.
Well,
and your estrogen's going through the roof.
absolutely.
And your testosterone's being destroyed.
Yep.
2 standard drinks just... Do you know all this?
Yeah.
Have you done the study? Because I'm just going off memory.
Have you heard of we'll keep it simple for the listeners.
Man boobs? Yes.
Yep. I was going to say brewer's droop.
No. That sounds even worse than man boobs.
Yeah, it's
that droopy.
Probably is worse, actually. Because, you know, beer causes impotence because it's highly estrogenic. Blocks your testosterone. So you may have the great libido when you drink alcohol.
Or ready to go, but you can't.
That's right. I don't know how we politely put this.
Yeah, no.
So we're going to have problems.
Wow.
Now, the other thing, of course, is alcohol impairs judgment and all this sort of stuff. So let's say you're a super duper athlete and you're really healthy and everything, and you go out and have a few drinks.
Yeah.
Your judgment's going to be impaired. You are going to get the junk food. You know, you're going to have the hot chips after the night because your judgment's all screwed.
Yeah.
So you're going to do yourself more harm.
Yeah.
Forget the fact that, like, I know someone in Sydney after the, it was in Melbourne, after the Melbourne Cup, they rode home on their scooter and they're still in hospital now. There was a big accident.
Oh, really?
Yeah, almost lost. I don't know if maybe he did lose his life. I won't mention names.
Oh.
But he was coming home from the races
On a scooter.
On a
Are you allowed
scooter.
to? Are you allowed to ride those scooters when you've drunk?
No, apparently not.
It's the same as a bike, right?
Yeah.
You can still get in trouble.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Now because they go very fast and his judgment's impaired. He had a girl on the back. Both had an yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I reckon you should be able to ride a horse because a horse hasn't been drinking. And if they breathalyze you on a horse, they will breathalyze the horse. You know what I mean? Like, do you agree though?
We've got to have solutions. This is a solution-driven podcast. Everyone ride a horse home from the pub. That'd be great.
Everyone has a horse in the backyard.
Of course, my sister owns a horse.
Does she?
It's a beautiful horse. Yeah, it's called Saint. Yeah, so there you go. Beautiful paint horse, actually.
Didn't win the Melbourne Cup though, did it?
No,
do you know how much they got for winning the Melbourne Cup?
What?
$7.7 million. Oh, by the way, I won the sweep.
Did you?
I got first and third.
The gold.
Yeah, I stole money out of Corbyn's money box, $10. I gave him a $5 commission. He was stoked.
Yeah.
Get home and he goes, "Dad, have you got my $10?" And I'm not in that, mate. $5 as well.
What was the name of it? Gold something.
Gold something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
$39 I won.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That is pretty good.
Yeah.
For betting on a horse race.
That's right.
We don't we want responsible gambling and all that sort of. We would say that term.
Look, with this episode, like we're stepping over landmines everywhere here, but obviously,
I think I've offended most
if you've got problems with alcohol, don't drink, and certainly go and get help. Yeah. None of this is an endorsement for alcohol. This is big boy pants. Everyone who's listening to this has their big boy and girl and other pants on. So, we're not endorsing it, but we're just saying as an adult, you have the right to make your own decisions.
Do it.
Illegal to ride a horse drunk.
It is. I knew it. But why? Just because it is, I don't have to agree with that. Like next time I'm going down the pub, I'm taking my horse.
It's legal to ride a horse drunk.
I've got to buy a horse. No, it does make sense. But how? I mean, what can you make the horse? Can you make the horse like run into a power pole or something? I mean, I guess you could. You could make the horse go across the road,
pull the reins and everything.
But would the horse stop? Honestly, I don't know. It just shows you how much I know about horse.
I mean, the problem I see is falling from a great height to a hard surface.
Yeah, but that's on you.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
Oh, I'm a libertarian. I'm all for
personal responsibility.
But not harming
others. So that's true because you could pull your horse in front of somebody else's horse. Anyway, let's get off horses and talk more about alcohol.
All right, now I've got to hit you with some stats here.
Okay.
Guess how much? This is according to the World Health Organization. But guess how many deaths per year worldwide are responsible for alcohol consumption or alcohol consumption?
I was going to say you got your phrasing around the wrong way. Yeah.
So alcohol.
The World Health Organization forces people to drink.
Yes, it
does. Therefore, I hold the World Health Organization responsible.
Yeah.
How many people die from alcohol-related deaths?
Yes.
So does that include
Annually.
Disease and or
everything? Yeah.
Darwin Awards?
Yep. Darwin Awards. Everything.
Okay. Right. Oh, geez. I like globally as a number.
Globally, number every year.
Just like global. Like everyone. Like even in Antarctic, right?
Yep.
Okay. It's a big number?
It's a pretty big number, I thought. But then when I was speaking to Matt before this, he
would have thought it was bigger?
Yeah.
Let me have a red-hot crack. 80,000 people a year?
80,000. Just doing the maths in my head here. No, you got a bit higher.
Higher?
Yeah, a bit higher.
By the way you're saying a bit, Steve, I know you too well. It's a lot higher.
Yeah. It's
Right,
a
how
lot
many?
higher.
How many?
3 million.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you hear about the guy that fell into a wood chipper? What a way to go.
Oh, did he? Yeah, look, I thot it was a joke.
No.
Oh, he fell into a wood
Yeah, no,
chipper.
it wasn't. Oh, I've got a joke for you, though.
Obviously, it was on. Yeah, what is it? Just get your finger on the button.
What do you call a stag with no eyes?
I don't know.
No idea. What do you call a stag with no eyes and no legs?
No, I don't know that either.
Still no idea.
Still no idea.
Yeah, my son told me that. I love that. That was great.
Oh, they're great.
So,
They're not
wow.
too bad.
So 3 million people.
Yeah. Now, I've got
Holy
a worse stat for you.
Yeah.
Okay. People aged 20 to 40 are the heavier drinkers. And people 20 to 40, sometimes die. 14% of those people aged 20 to 40 that die are due to alcohol.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
Well, but that's all causes of alcohol. That's cirrhosis. That's
everything.
Suicide. That's falling off a
drunk
balcony.
driving.
Like everything.
Yep,
Right.
yep.
Drunk driving. Yeah, of course.
Wow. In addition,
does that also include the people if they're drunk driving that they kill as well too?
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So it's quite and there's also now just over 200 diseases related to excessive drinking.
Wow.
Like brain, heart, of course, liver.
What's the most common disease besides cirrhosis of the liver? Would that be
liver?
How many people die from that every year?
Oh, it didn't look that up, but it would be up there.
Right.
But alcohol causes loads of inflammation of the gut, so gastritis, alcoholic gastritis is very common.
What's the syndrome that happens when pregnant mothers drink too much alcohol?
Fetal alcohol syndrome. Yeah, that's a terrible.
And that basically makes the child
deformed
and retarded as well too, correct?
Yeah. So that's included in all this sort of thing. So
that's terrible.
There's quite bad. But going back to our binge drinker, they're probably likely to suffer inflammation of the gut and the liver. It's called hepatitis. People think hepatitis is a viral thing, and viruses can cause inflammation of the liver. There's A, B, C, D, E.
Oh, is it up to E now?
Yeah, it's up to E.
Hepatitis C. I knew, D. I didn't know.
B is probably the worst. Hepatitis A is more like a food poisoning that inflames your liver. Hepatitis C was really bad, but now it's curable.
My sister had it and she's cured.
Yeah.
Yeah. When she got it, there was no cure.
No.
She now actually, I think, Justine, forgive me if I got this wrong, she works for the New South Wales government now and actually lectures to people on hepatitis.
C.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's now PBS listed, which means that it only costs you $50. Used to, and I could be wrong on this one, but I think famous person, I think Pamela Anderson got hepatitis C and
from drugs.
Yeah, I think
typically
so.
That's how my sister got it.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't going to mention that what the causes are.
No, my sister's really open. She's
is she?
She's a former addict, former heroin addict, and she's
great. She's former. That's terrific.
Yeah. And that's the thing about that. That's probably another one altogether. She even said to my mum one time, she goes, Mum, it's just an all insatiable appetite for the drug. Yeah. She goes, I would have stolen from you in a heartbeat if I could have got a fix, because that's how much it corrupted her. But thank God she got off it.
Yeah.
And she's been sober now. I don't know if you use it. For like, basically a couple of decades now.
That's incredible.
So,
and no hepatitis. So
and over the hepatitis.
Hepatitis C was pretty much you're going to get liver cancer.
Yeah, pretty much. When she got it, mum and dad and her and everyone were just freaking out. Actually, Justine was pretty, I've done this to myself and kind of deserve it. But mum and dad were like, pretty upset.
There's vaccines for hepatitis B, so that's that one.
Yeah.
Now, hepatitis B is quite contagious.
Yeah.
So you can get that from, intimate contact. We'll leave it at that, will we? Which everyone does. Well, not now that I'm married, but...
Yes. Okay, moving on. And hepatitis D?
Yeah, that's not a bad one. D and E are not too bad.
Right.
It just don't worry about them.
Yep.
Don't worry about them. All right. So the problem with the excessive alcohol is that let's say you're out on the night and you wake up and you ever see people who are not staggering around the morning still drunk, but they're walking funny and they're like struggle with walking. It drives up inflammation in the body as well.
Yeah, right.
So you get this massive inflammatory response from excessive alcohol.
Yep.
So, you got to remember, let's say you have a bad night, naughty night, you eat bad, you screw your fluids, you screw your electrolytes, everything's screwed up.
We're drinking and we're having a naughty night and it's just be careful of your phrasing, Steve.
You've woken up with let's say a hangover, We won't say cluster headache.
No.
That's what else you wake up.
No. Nothing. Obviously, I've been drinking too much. Yep.
But do you think on the Saturday or the Sunday you wake up, you're going to be hitting the gym in the morning?
No, Lord, no.
So it ruins you.
Oh, yeah.
For about up to 24
Do you know what
hours.
my hangover cure used to be?
What was it?
my gosh, when I was young, I was so stupid. So stupid.
Yeah.
I just look back on, Oscar Wilde, the youth is wasted on the young.
Yeah, it's true.
Cup of tea and a honey sandwich. Absolutely. A cup of English breakfast was my absolute go-to hangover cure.
Yeah. Wow.
Funny, huh?
It is incredible.
Stupid.
It is. I mean, people drink again, and that's not an idea. The way to get
I remember that. No, never again. Mind you, with tequila, I never did.
I've had tequila
a lot of people
once.
have got alcohol like that where I can't even smell it. Isn't it funny?
Yeah.
You know, when I remember one time I got poisoned at the Swiss Chalet when I was a young boy eating mushroom chicken. Do you know how long it took me to eat mushrooms again after getting violently ill?
Oh, they gave you the wrong type of mushroom.
I'll tell you what, the worst food poisoning I ever had was when I was in Thailand and I had crab cakes. Oh. I was in bed in the hotel room for 2 days. Oh, my Lord, Steve. I thought I was going to die.
Speaking of hepatitis A.
That was brutal. That was brutal.
In countries where they don't have excellent hygiene.
Well, this is staying at the JW Marriott 5-star resort in Mayakawa Beach, by the way. If ever you're looking to go anywhere for an amazing holiday, go there.
Don't eat the crab, though.
Oh, my gosh. No. I haven't gone back to crab cake just yet.
Oh, goodness me.
But isn't it funny? But it's with alcohol. You see people and you go, you can see them sometimes. They're in parties and they smell tequila or they smell, what's the other one? Malibu. Oh my God. People of my generation, I reckon probably 50% of the females, you bring out like some Malibu and they're like, ugh, because they all go, passion pop. Do you remember
that?
$2 passion pop. I remember drinking
Tasted
that
great.
once. No, it did not.
No, it tasted sweet, so you could swallow
I remember
it.
having some of that one time because we were at schoolies. Yeah. And I remember drinking some of that. And I laid on the bed and literally, and I kid you not, the room was literally spinning. I am amazed. I thought I should have puked my guts out. I didn't puke. But oh my gosh, like schoolies, that's a stupid bunch
I remember schoolies.
And schoolies and toolies.
Vodka was my go-to at schoolies because I just figured
schoolies
that it was
is
the quickest way to drink.
like permanent spring break for Americans, friends. So it's when you go, you finish school and you go down to normally the Gold Coast, but people are going everywhere now. Yeah. Like, and they're underage and they drink.
Can I tell you what because I'm from Melbourne and there's a river that runs through Melbourne called the Yarra River. Yep. And we used to call ours, and this is terrible, but it's called the Para at the Yarra.
That's not politically correct, Steve.
What do you mean?
We used to say that. I mean, these are things we used to call it paralytic, right? Yeah. You're not allowed to say it. It is actually very offensive. But having said that, like that's the kind of terminology and phrasing we used to use, and that was again an Australian slang.
Very much so.
That if you said, "Oh, he's para," meaning he's paralytic, meaning he can't walk.
Yeah.
It's terrible. I mean, really, some of these sayings are pretty horrible.
I didn't know that was still offensive. Probably
it is absolutely because you know what? Because you're not associating it. with what you mean.
I don't.
Now you know me, Steve. I'm all about free speech. But there's definitely some things that we should not say anymore, and that's definitely offensive.
Okay,
it is.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
No, you better not. I wonder what they call it down in Melbourne now. Don't know. I want to find that out. Well, we were talking about the side effects of alcohol, and I've got
you got very heavy and handed with all the things that is going to happen to you if you drink too much alcohol. Yeah. And these were happy holiday. I've been drinking happy holiday makers about how they can possibly partake of a few Christmas drinks, Steve, and you're completely a downer.
I've ruined them because alcohol makes acetaldehyde, and I'll put up another graphic for those people who are watching here. And it's got 4 things that acetaldehyde, if it doesn't go through to acetic acid, so this is excessive drinking, causes lipid accumulation, inflammation, fibrosis, and the last one, carcinogenesis.
Oof.
So, and it's got all
which means cancer.
Exactly. I mean, it reduces your beta oxidation and just for lipid accumulation.
Right.
So it stops you burning fat.
Yeah.
So when people say, "Oh, can I have a few drinks when I'm trying to?" It's like this is
when you're trying to what?
Trying to lose body fat.
No. Biggest handbrake on so many levels, and I think we covered that as well too. In terms of also poor choices as far as what else you eat with it, body chemistry, estrogen up, testosterone down. Your body's now focusing on that as a toxin to remove out of the body instead of removing other toxins.
Correct.
You're then lazy, and then the next day you can't train.
Exactly.
So I mean, like it's the systemic effect of too much alcohol is so bad.
Oh, it's really terrible.
And we haven't actually, and again, I'm not going to understate the impact it has on testosterone levels is massive. So if you're trying to build muscle tissue, drinking alcohol any more than I think 2 drinks in a day significantly impact. I think, Stephen, please, we can look at this and we can put a disclaimer here. 50% reduction in testosterone on the 3rd drink, Steve, or something crazy like that.
It's crazy like that. Can I just give you, I know we're running out of time, just one more bit of bad news for alcohol.
Can we get to some good news? Anyway, okay. Eggnog.
That it increases fatty acid uptake in the body, so you get more calories out of your food, and most people don't want that.
Oh, really?
Increases fatty acid uptake.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, it screws your liver and all that too, and stuffs free radicals, increases inflammation, but it stimulates fatty acid uptake, which is, and stops fat burning.
Yep.
So, you know.
So, it's no fat burning, but actually fat accumulation, fat
absorption.
Anabolism.
Yeah.
So there's no good here.
No.
You might feel good,
excessive alcohol,
but you're going to look worse. You're going to feel worse the next day.
Can I give you some positives if you drink in moderation?
And moderation is the maximum of 2 drinks per day. Typically low sugar drinks as well too. So we're talking pretty much what we're saying here, Steve, red wine.
Yeah, pretty much.
Really.
If you drink red wine and all that sort of thing, you will reduce inflammation, you will reduce oxidation, you will improve your lipid profile, you will have a neutral effect on blood pressure, so it doesn't go up or down, and it increases glucose metabolism. It reduces the effects of acute myocardial infarction or MRI or heart attack, reduces stroke, and reduces cardiovascular mortality. And
hang on. I knew that having a little bit of red wine was okay.
Yeah.
I knew that there was some benefit in terms of the polyphenols and the resveratrol. But if you had, let's say if you had one, and I'm not talking about a glass, fill your glass up, but actually like a standard drink, which is typically in a wine glass. I always felt ripped off, but actually that's proper. If you had one glass of dry red wine with your meal most evenings, you're actually net ahead benefit.
You're net ahead for all those things, and that's published in a paper called The Benefits and Risks of Moderate Alcohol Consumption on Cardiovascular Risk Disease, Current Findings. So this is published 2020. So pretty important paper.
Now, you can have maximum 2 drinks, Steve?
Yeah, maximum of 2 drinks. So,
but realistically, one would probably be ideal, right?
One would be fine, 1 to 2 drinks a night. So this is what this is talking about. Now, again, if you're going to have it with Red Bull and all that, it could have other problems.
But you don't have red wine with Red Bull.
Yeah. We're talking red wine.
I guess you could if you want.
Have you heard of the French paradox? The French have this, eat a lot
garlicky
of
bread and snails and frog's legs.
And they
That's
rarely get heart disease. And one of the factors is the red wine. So interesting, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's sort of alcohol in a nutshell there. And we've really focused on the binge drinking, which is all bad news. But the moderate drinking is a net benefit for you.
Well, I don't think there's going to be a lot of moderation, Stephen, for those that are listening that are moderate drinkers. And good news is, and again, if you're really looking at improving health but want to dry red wine, that's
going to be fine.
That's your
Unless you're trying to lose body fat.
Yeah.
Because it's still, that little bit of alcohol still has a little bit of a handbrake on fat.
7 calories per mil. Is that correct, Steve?
Of alcohol. Yeah, of ethanol.
Yeah.
Which is more than
carbs and less slightly the fat.
Yeah.
But is also prioritized for burning is right.
And it stimulates absorption of fat out of food.
The other thing as well too, and again, just some quick summary notes here. If you're on a ketogenic diet, red wine will not knock you out of ketosis. It will stop fat burning, but it's quite easy to switch between ketones and burning alcohol for energy.
Sure.
And it doesn't knock you out. So when I was doing ketogenic diet, Steve, my go-to on the weekend would be red wine.
Yeah.
Again, I'd probably have more than 1 or 2 glasses. I'd probably have like 3 or 4. But I wouldn't be going like 3 or 4 bottles, if you know what I mean.
Exactly.
But I stayed in ketosis.
Yeah, that's good.
So, in summary, are we summarizing?
I think we are.
All right. So, in summary, the best alcohol is red wine, followed by probably white wine, Steve, or straight spirits.
Yeah. Coloured spirits.
Coloured spirits. Don't go for vodka. Don't go for gin. Don't go for white rum.
Yeah.
Per se.
For your health, if you want your health.
And at the very, very, very naughty end of the scale would be any alcohol with sugar, specifically mixers.
Yep.
So if you're going to just be mindful of that. And if Steve and I hate artificial sweeteners, so yes, probably better off from a calorie deficit point of view, and
it's all bad.
Still, it's not great.
We see we're cringing when we're talking about this because it also comes down to the individual.
Yeah,
like if there's an individual out there that says, "No, I can have X drink and it doesn't kill me." And I feel all right. It's like, all right, we'll go for that one.
Yeah,
that's what I should do. I used to people's personal experiences trumped the science because the science is based on everyone, not on individuals.
So the other things to consider as well too is get hydrated before you go. I mean, magnesium, as you said, Steve, maybe consider making yourself a protein smoothie with some antioxidants in there. Stay hydrated through the night while you're drinking. Probably try where possible to mitigate the amount of junk food, and what we're specifically talking about is things like chips and corn chips and salty MSG covered fat stuff,
and that's what you crave when you're drinking.
It is, isn't it? Watch out for your burgers and all that sort of, your pizza as well too. Like pizza, that's probably one of the worst things that you can possibly have, right? Like you're
loads
getting loads of fat and carbs. Within your
salt,
your insulin's going through the roof. But what about a bit of red wine and maybe some cheese and crackers, Steve-O?
Yeah, that's right.
Probably okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Maybe go for your grapes and your stuff like that.
Dip with fruit is another, like dip with carrots and capsicum, that sort of thing. Yeah. It helps a bit, and try and keep your B vitamins up. Like, all right. People used to use the old Vegemite in the olden days, but you could just get, multivitamins. You remember that, don't you?
Come down for some Vegemite and red wine.
Yeah.
No, maybe not. But, okay, that's not bad. Okay, morning after, Steve.
Ah, yeah.
All right. So, okay, you've gone out. You've done a few of these things. You've definitely overindulged.
Yeah.
You wake up the next morning. You do a grog bog.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, it's another Australian saying. What should you do?
All right, you're
feeling seedy.
All right, eat whatever you feel like. Like if you feel like a lot of people fake like fatty things in the morning,
right?
And that's okay,
right?
As long as you have like like an omelette,
right?
A little bit of cheese to get the fats and the eggs, and you cut up lots of vegetables in it.
Yeah.
So you have a kind of a nice breakfast like that. But it's all about the hydration in the morning.
What about? And I'm going to go here specifically for some supplementation that might help. Yeah. What about some Sandra? What about some other herbs that you could potentially take? What about some liver herbs, hepatic
the
herbs?
The best one's Silybum marianum for
Silybum.
Yeah, or what's the milk thistle.
Milk thistle. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very
milk
good
thistle
one.
and inositol-choline and methionine used to be a popular. When I used to own the supplement den, I used to have guys and girls, mainly girls, come down and take crap tons of milk thistle and methionine before they'd go, and then as soon as they got home. Why were they doing that, Steve?
Protect the liver from free radical damage.
And some of them swore black and blue that taking milk thistle and methionine specifically significantly reduced their hangover the next day. Do you think that was placebo or true, Steve?
No, it's true. It's true. I mean, Silybum marianum is a fantastic antioxidant too, and oxidative stress is one of the negative things that excessive alcohol does. So you're going to be better off.
And obviously you want to flush out the toxins as well too, Steve. So plenty of quality water.
Yeah.
What about other antioxidants? Just any form of antioxidants to help mop up some of that free radical down. Again, maybe you might even want to have a smoothie the next morning with some blueberries and strawberries and that sort of stuff. And electrolytes, definitely, to get the hydration back again.
And get yourself moving.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say you can't go to the gym.
Yeah.
But do a bit of movement. Try not to drink just because you're actually increasing your circulation.
Yeah.
And if you think of it...
Get those toxins out.
Yeah, if you think of your kidneys and liver, if you look at the anatomy of those, the way they work is the blood gets pushed through them. So a great detoxifying thing is to get your heart rate up. So you push more blood through them per hour. So you actually detoxing by exercise. That's how exercise is a very good detoxification program.
Cool.
In the olden days, the exercise was shunned upon for detox, but it's one of the best things because you breathe in and out, you sweat through your skin, and your liver and kidneys work better because the blood's pushed through more.
Cool. All right. Well, there you go. Drinking 101 over the Christmas period. We're certainly not endorsing it.
No.
And if you have an alcohol problem, go get help.
Yeah.
But if you are the average punter, so on, and you're looking to indulge a little bit over this period, specifically coming into Christmas, and you've got Christmas parties, try some of those tips and tricks and things to be able to mitigate. Obviously, always drink alcohol, conservatively, and just be mindful.
Yep.
We don't want anybody to get hurt or hurt anybody else during the Christmas period. So you can see there that there's a crap ton of reasons why you wouldn't want to drink more than two drinks.
Yeah.
But if you're going to, you've been forewarned.
And don't drink and drive, and don't ride a horse, I'll learn.
Steve-O.
Yes.
Some bullet point fire, ready, aim, shoot.
Yep.
Questions about alcohol.
Great.
All right. Alcohol impact on the gut. What does the research say? And is there any information on specific bacteria issues related health issues?
Okay. First thing is it causes irritation of the gut and you get gastritis. Alcoholic gastritis is a very common one. This is excessive alcohol. So don't drink in excess if you want to help your gut.
Yep.
As for microbes, all the bad ones are stimulated by alcohol because it acts like a sugar in the gut.
Right.
So you feed a lot of the bad bugs, the Klebsiellas, all those nasties. So it's bad. You know, too much of it's bad.
What about a little bit of red wine, Steve?
Because polyphenols go around and kill all the bad bugs.
Yep.
So
depending on your poison of choice, isn't that funny, right? A little bit of red wine could be mildly beneficial.
Very beneficial.
But most other alcohols, unfortunately, feed the bad bacteria and probably should be avoided if you're trying to improve your gut ratio and improve gut health.
That's exactly right.
Okay. That's according to you. Gut health benefits being alcohol-free. On the flip side, Steve, I guess.
There are. The first one is like inflammation. Alcohol is inflammatory. There's no ifs or buts about it. So certainly alcohol-free will stop that, any sort of inflammation. Also, alcohol stops you burning fat, so you're going to have a better composition. Also, you are going to not irritate your gut. So if you've ever been people who drink a lot of alcohol, next morning they have a large poo, that's due to the excessive mucus brought on by the gut irritation. So you're going to have a much healthier gut flow. You're not going to knock out any of the minerals, so you're going to have better nutrient supplies. So try and stay alcohol-free, or moderation. Moderation seems to be the key.
Cool. Aussie slang.
Yeah.
Steve-O. That's what I said about Steve-O. Bottle-O.
Jeff.
I mean, what else? We add O on the end of everything, right?
Yeah.
Red Joe.
Yeah, Red Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smoko.
Smoko.
Do you like smoke? People are like, well, what's a smoko? So it's really funny, though, because we sort of mentioned a few words and we've been sort of talking the Australian vernacular for our English people kind of get it. Like we're close cousins. Americans, on the other hand, we're sort of like distantly related, maybe second removed through our cat's uncle or something.
I've got an Australian saying, I try and play a straight bat.
Okay. Would Americans understand that? They probably wouldn't. But there was a few terminology that Americans say that think we say, which we don't say. Like throw a shrimp on the barbie. We don't call them shrimps.
Yeah, that's right.
But that was a famous ad with Paul Hogan, right? Yeah. But that's going back to the 80s, mate. So
it was, I remember.
Okay, I'll tell you a few. Here's a few from Americans that I don't recognise, okay?
Okay.
What about Aussie salute?
Oh, isn't that flying, getting the wave, getting the... I've heard of it.
What is it?
It's getting rid of flies.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
But I'm an Aussie.
But you're old.
I'm old too.
Yeah.
You came here in 97.
87.
87?
87.
Oh,
yeah. I'm actually a Kiwi. Yeah, but yeah. How often do you also hear it as brolly?
Oh,
do you know what a brolly is?
Yeah.
Do you know what a brolly is? When have you heard anybody say brolly lately? Have you?
Old people.
Old people, right?
Yeah.
So
that's why I say it. Yeah. But the Aussie salute thing, I've heard of it, but I don't ever use it in conversation.
Yeah. Okay, here's another one as well too.
Okay.
Cobber.
Oh yeah.
Would you ever say, "Oh, here's my cobber"?
Yeah.
Would you? Nah, we don't say that anymore.
Like,
maybe these from 1940s and 50s or something.
Yeah, it's a very old one.
But what is a cobber?
Is it a type of person, a friend or something?
It is. It's a very good friend. All right, me old cobber.
Yeah. No, it's. I would have thought that was an English saying.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. There's a few there anyway. But anyway, today's word, because there's a whole host that we can go through here. Today's word. And you've got to tell me, Steve, what you think it is, right?
I hope it's not a swear word.
No, swear word. Well, I've actually got two for you. I'll give you the little one first, and I'll give you the okay. Cactus.
Oh yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah, well, I was cactus after my workout this morning.
Which means
it was totally
wrecked, ruined,
or shagged.
Dead.
Is that the right word, or is that a slang? Or
shagged? Yeah, well, that's probably another one as well too. Rooted. Americans. Americans go, I'm going to root for my team. I'm like,
Oh, they say they call immigrants aliens. Have you heard that? You know, illegal aliens?
Yes. Yeah.
I went, it doesn't. I thought an alien was something from Mars.
No.
There you go.
I don't know. There you go. No, well, the word is, and this one's a little bit controversial, Steve.
Oh, no.
Okay. If I said tinny, what would you think?
Well, a tinny is, there's two. Well, I'll give you two answers to tinny.
There's
a tinny
actually
is
three.
A drink.
Yeah.
Or it's a small.
What type of tinny? What is it? What does a tinny drink?
It's like a can of drink.
A tin. A tin. Right? Yeah. Okay. So a tinny. Yep.
The other tinny is, there's actually another tin. There's three tinnies.
Yeah, that's right.
Another tinny is a small boat that you go fishing in.
Yeah, that's it.
A tinny.
Yeah.
I used to own a tinny.
Yeah.
And another tinny is like someone who's very lucky.
That's it.
They're very tinny.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you
is that the three tinnies?
If you threw in your fishing line, and you're in your tinny, and you pulled up a tinny, to drink, you'd say that's tinny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a luck thing.
It is. It's strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're very lazy with our.
It's sort of like I haven't used these words. It's like reminding me of childhood. Yeah. I think I learned that when I was playing cards with my mum. When they said, he picked up an ace. Oh, that's tinny.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's sort of
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? And when was the last time you heard someone say fair dinkum or struth or the most common name in Australia, Bruce? When was the last time you heard anyone with the name Bruce?
I haven't.
You just don't, No,
and I've fair dinkum. Maybe I've said, but you don't say that very often here.
No wuckers.
I don't think we can say what that means.
That was big back in the 80s and 90s.
It was.
No.
Wuck and furries.
Yeah.
Do we have to edit that?
We can't. So no wuckers is a truly Aussie saying to say no worries.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is also very Australian.
Yeah.
No worries, mate.
Yeah, no worries. That is a very
Why would I be worried?
Yeah, exactly.
But there are no worries. Anyway, enough of that. So anyway, for our American friends specifically, but for those listening around the world, there's a little bit of a catch up. And the reason why this came about is that we have a few people listening from overseas that sometimes miss. It's lost in translation, I think they call it, Steve.
It's funny.
We want to help to bring you guys up with the Australian vernacular. All right, Steve, a couple of FAQs to get on to.
Let's get into it.
All righty. Okay, this is listener number 1. You know who you are. Great podcast, so informative. Absolutely love ATP science. Such great quality, you can never go wrong. Collagen bars are amazing. I have one every night and no issues with digestion. Oh, that was a little
comment,
a review.
It's a good one, though.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Okay. Question number 2, or comment number 2. See, we don't read these. We just get given them, right? Hi, guys. Been listening to you guys since the start and have used your products since you first started. Now have my grown-up kids on it. Fancy that. Off the screens to take their ATP science stuff. Love your products and enjoy listening to you guys talk. Learned a lot. Keep up the great work.
Love it.
Nice. Well, thank you for writing in and sharing your comments. Please get in contact at info@atpscience.com, or better yet, jump onto the live chat, have a chat to the guys there. Say, hey, I am Yoo-hoo, I'm famous.
Yep.
And we're going to send you a little thank you just for taking the time to let us know your thoughts on ATP Science. Really appreciate it. Guys, if you're watching on YouTube as well too, please, if you could like us and
Love us, subscribe.
Is there a love button?
I don't. Is there? There is that my thinking?
There is a love button, but I don't think it's on YouTube. But if you could do that and then do the subscribe button.
Yep.
I don't know. I just work here. And drop a comment. We do read them. We do love them. It all goes to helping us. So that would be great, so we can reach more people.
So we're old.
Yeah.
Well, I am.
You're very old.
Very old.
I'm just sort of on the edge.
Yeah, we didn't grow up with this stuff.
No, I just, Anyway, but thank you guys. Really appreciate it. And, yep.